Aunt Molly Jackson from old Kentucky came. Born in the mountains, everyone knew her name. She helped the coal miners till their strike was won in bloody Harlan County in 1931. Dangers were many, explosions underground, miners trapped in darkness a mile down in the ground, broken, bleeding bodies strained for a cup of air. Such a slow and horrible death, no one could hear their prayer. Wives and families waiting in the rain, as day after day the drillers worked in vain. The last tapping sounds were heard, tapping out their souls. Such is the bloody price for the rich man's coal. Through all the hills and valleys in every mine in town, the miners refused to work by laying their tools all down. They brought to a standstill a mighty coal industry, and they showed how the working class have strength in unity. The miners struck for wages instead of paper scrip, and for safe conditions in all the mining pits. But all they got was gunfire when the soldiers came, and the governor and the president said the miners were to blame. Strikers were arrested and promptly thrown in jail. Their wives had no money to pay for any bail. Mine owners and the judge did conspire to meet, writing up new laws to jail pickets on the street. National Miners Union was called to organize. Aunt Molly filled the picket line with all the miners' wives. The cops clubbed and dragged them, shoved them all in jail, and the union fund was depleted by excessive bail. The company played a waiting game to starve the union out. Aunt Molly collected food and clothes, but the food it soon ran out. She tried to save the little ones, feeding soap and paste, as the mothers in hysteria seen little coffins laid to waste. Through the hills of Appalachia, wherever she had tread, were signs of grief and hunger as desolation spread. Miners on a blacklist could find no work nowhere, and all across America the depression brought despair. Aunt Molly passed out leaflets and she saddled up her mule, speaking in all the company towns where coal bosses rule. She pulled out her pistol, marched up to the company store, saying fill these sacks of groceries to give among the poor. The press and the radio spread the company lies, saying the National Miners Union were foreign Russian spies, dividing Kentucky miners by the waving of the flag. And they labeled Molly Jackson a troublemaking hag. 19-year-old Harry Sims was walking home one night. Company thugs in ambush lied till he came inside, killing unarmed Union men, hide cowards always do. So Molly armed the miners to shoot back at them too. There's class war in Harlan County, but the ruling class had won, destroying the National Miners Union with blacklist and with gun. deputizing more thugs to shoot the miners down. And they brought in scab replacements to break the strike in town. The press wouldn't print the story of why the miners strike. They had no way to tell the world what conditions were like. For the wealthy own the press and they own the radio, and they censor a lot of news so people will not know. Aunt Molly went to New York to tell of the miners' plight. The unemployed were marching 8,000 strong that night. She pleaded for donations, whatever they could spare. The miners in Kentucky will know that others care. The law deported Molly from Kentucky out of sight, and the National Miners Union lost a bitter fight. But they cleared a long and bloody path for unions that would come, reaping hard-won benefits from what Aunt Molly done. It's the rich who rule the world, it's the rich who make the law. It's the rich who use the army to make imperial war, propping up dictators through the CIA, working third world peasants for 50 cents a day. Here's to Aunt Molly and the worldwide working class, and all of labor's martyrs, both present and both past. As corporations globalize, class struggle still goes on in poor nations round the world where corporate greed is gone.